Dysentery was the biggest killer during the Civil War. Amputation was a common procedure that often led to further illness. Shigella is a bacteria that causes dysentery. The most important medical advances in the Civil War were antibiotics. These were discovered to fight off the largest killer in the war, bacteria. Penicillin was the first antibiotic. Alexander Fleming discovered the antibiotic when he returned home from a vacation and checked on petri dishes. He discovered that one dish had mold growing in it that secreted a bacteria-killing substance. This was very important to the medical field. The war made further research and production difficult. This antibiotic began saving lives. Other antibiotics discovered include many strains of penicillin. Hand hygiene became popular in the 1920s when the first national hand hygiene guidelines were implemented. Hand hygiene is directly correlated with reducing bacteria and virus infections. It is not only important in medical fields. Washing your hands should definitely be done after using the bathroom and before eating. Here is a hand washing procedure showing you how to properly wash your hands to have the best cleaning results. Wet your hands with clean running water, warm or cold, and apply the soap. Lather your hands as seen here by rubbing them together with the soap. Be sure to lather the backs of your hands between your fingers and under your nails. You should probably scrub your hands for at least 20 seconds. As seen here, rinse your hands well under clean running water. After this, you can dry your hands using a clean towel or air dry them. Be sure to get all of the water off so that all of the bacteria is run off. How do antibiotics work? Antibiotics can kill bacteria that are surrounded by a cell wall. They block the process of bacteria building around cell walls by linking molecules together. Without support from the cell wall, procedure inside the cell becomes too much and the membrane bursts. Antibiotics can also affect ribosomes. Ribosomes build proteins in both bacteria and human cells. Some antibiotics block only bacterial ribosomes and prevent them from building proteins. Since proteins do all the cell's work, a bacterium that cannot build proteins cannot survive. Some antibiotics are used to treat infections like bronchitis and pneumonia. When bacteria begin to copy their DNA, the antibiotics cause the strands to break and then prevent the breaks from being repaired. Without intact DNA, bacteria cannot live or reproduce. Antibiotics are important uses in our lives because they can kill off serious infections caused by bacteria. They may be life-saving in some instances and prevent the spread of further disease. Certain types of antibiotics include penicillin, which cures E. coli, erythromycin, which cures acne and gonorrhea, levofloxacin, which cures chlamydia and bacteria infection, cefalozin, which cures staphylococcus, and tetracycline, which cures syphilis. Here's a way that you can prevent bacteria in your home. Periodically clean frequently touched surfaces in your home. Wash your hands before eating, as touching food with dirty hands can spread bacteria and become the cause of bacterial infection. Avoid touching bodily fluids from other people, such as blood, saliva, and semen. Probiotics, or good bacteria, do exist. Some types of these bacteria include Lactobacillus acidophilus, Lactobacillus reuteri, Bacillus coagulans, and Lactococcus lactis. Probiotics are found in commercial supplements, as well as fermented foods like tempeh, miso, and yogurt. These beneficial bacteria are associated with numerous health benefits and widely used in clinical nutrition and complementary alternative medicine. They show some promise in the treatment of diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, vaginal infections, tooth decay, and skin disease. Antibiotic resistance is when bacteria cannot be controlled or killed by antibiotics. They become mutated to avoid being affected. This should concern us because antibiotic resistance can cause serious disease and is an important public health problem. Antibiotic-resistant bacteria can spread from person to person in the community or from patient to patient in a hospital. Bacteria are becoming resistant by reproducing more of the unaffected bacteria or the ones that survive. As time progresses, the population produces offspring with genes resistant to antibiotics. Ways to prevent antibiotic resistance are to minimize unnecessary prescribing and overprescribing of antibiotics. This occurs when people expect doctors to prescribe antibiotics for a viral illness or when antibiotics are prescribed for conditions that do not require them. Also practice good hygiene and use appropriate infection control procedures. Antibacterial cleaning products are no more effective at preventing infection than good personal and household hygiene. These may add to the problem because the overuse of antibacterial cleaning products, including disinfectants in the home, may be producing strains of multi-antibiotic resistant bacteria. Resistant strains of bacteria can lead to increased infection risk in the community and in hospitals and other healthcare settings. Soaps and detergents, hand lotions, disinfectants, and window cleaners are among many common antibacterial products. Staphylococcus and Neisseria are both resistant to antibiotics. They are dangerous because it is more difficult for us to cure people from the diseases caused by these bacteria. We can control antibiotic resistance by not overusing them. It is caused partly because humanity uses too much of the antibiotics, which makes it worse of a problem.